So I'm gonna do a daily recap at night every day on this trip. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm doing a 30-day really road trip, living in my car, couch surfing, researching for my podcast, which is travel and true crime, but also I just mentally needed a break. I'm an artist, I'm a singer, I run a personal training company online, and I just needed some time to refocus. And this is the end. I'm coming in from the end of day one in St. Louis, and I had a fabulous time. I didn't get out as much as I wanted to today. I had work this morning, and then I took a little nap because I decided I'm doing this 30-day shenanigan like 5 days ago. So I had to clean my apartment, empty my closets, get some, it was a whole thing. So I'm actually staying in the Grove in St. Louis, which is a really cool kind of artsy area. That is not at all what I meant to do. But so I went around and just explored the restaurants and the really great coffee shops, and that was really fun. I would love to check out some of the drag here. It seems like they have a pretty strong drag community. And then I went to, and I'll show you some pictures, I went to the Basilica of St. Louis. I mean, you have to hand it to the Catholics. They know how to build a beautiful church. I love old churches. Everywhere I've traveled, if there's a really beautiful cathedral, I always go. This one had some of the most beautiful mosaic I've ever seen. It's definitely the most beautiful church I think I've seen in the States. My favorite church of all time is Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. I mean, that place, I walked in and just started sobbing. And this is my very first time in St. Louis. So after I went to the Basilica, I went to the Arch, which was massive, way bigger than I thought it was. I mean, I didn't think it was small, but I didn't think it was that big. This thing is a behemoth. It's so huge. I didn't have a chance to go to the top because I was meeting up with someone off of Couchsurf. And if you're not familiar with Couchsurf, I use it a lot when I travel. It's a couch surfing app, as you might imagine. People open their homes for travelers to come stay. It's a great way. They have hangouts, and you can meet with people from all over the world, and everything's located on the app. Let me just show you. So this is kind of what the dashboard of the app looks like. There's hangouts, and they'll have groups of people that are traveling, getting together. You'll find a lot of solo travelers, and I've met quite a few people that are in the ultra marathon running community and things like that. And this is what your personal profile looks like. And so people can review you, hosts get reviews. So if you want to stay with someone, you can reach out to them. You can read their reviews and read their house rules and stuff. And it's totally free. So you can stay for free. So if you're traveling on a budget, this is the best app, and it's a really great way to meet people. I hadn't eaten all day, and we went to this place called Lola's Bites. It was a Thai wrap place. It was so delicious. It was so good. I was also very hungry, but it was so delicious. And then I went to this place called Venice Bar. It is this crazy eclectic. It's a bunch of people with ADD on mushrooms put a bunch of things in a balloon and then let the balloon explode, and whatever stuck to the walls stuck. So you can see there's all this stuff all over the walls. I mean, you can tell that this stuff has been there forever. There was really great live music. It was kind of bluesy country, but the performers were really, really good. And I was just reminded today how magical travel can be, hanging out with my friend from Couchsurf. And then I was standing in Venice Bar, and this older gentleman comes up to me, and he's from Chicago, and he was like, "It's been a while since I've been here. What's it like?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I've never been here before either." He hadn't been to that bar in 30 years. He used to come down to that bar from Chicago in the early 90s. And so we end up talking, and he collects music memorabilia and is really passionate about music and the history of Chicago. And I'm going to Chicago to research an episode in May, and he was like, "Call me, I'll tell you where to go. I can give you so much history." And it reminds me travel has this beautiful way of shaking you out of your routine And waking you back up, like today I just felt awake and I felt reconnected with myself. One of the things I've been struggling with is I've been feeling really stuck musically, stuck with my training business. Had a lot of vocal trouble last year, a lot of it related to stress. And my show last Sunday, I went in completely sober and was just like, I need to feel what's happening, because I had started developing a lot of anxiety around shows. And as we're going through the show, I'm about halfway through, and I realized I had a situation happen last year that was really embarrassing. And I got a lot of pushback for it, and a lot of people hate me for it, called me a liar, whatever. And I mean, that's fine. That's their prerogative. And there's even been people in Nashville like making degrading videos of me and sending them around. I've seen some of them. I know who's doing it. But at the time, I was like, the truth's the truth. And I realized at my show last Sunday that while I had so many people that supported me and really helped me, I think I didn't feel like I deserved to be heard. And when you're a singer, all of your emotions affect your voice. If you're stressed, if you're tired, if you're heartbroken, it's all right here, because it's the seat of how we communicate. And I realized in my show last Sunday that I was feeling all this tension and all this need to push because I wanted to be heard because of that situation. And the rest of the show, I just kept saying to myself over and over and over, I deserve to be heard. I deserve to be heard. I deserve to be heard. And I had one of the best shows I've had in months, and my voice felt better, and I didn't need as long of recovery time. And I'm here in St. Louis traveling, and I'm like, man, that's what I did this for, is the clarity that I'm doing the right things in my life, that I'm brave enough to make the right choices and the risky choices. And my episode on St. Louis is going to be live next week. I'm actually researching a serial killer that I'm shocked I had never heard of before. Maury Travis is actually fairly recent. He was arrested in 2002. He killed 17 sex workers that we know of. There may be more. And he's also one of the few documented Black serial killers I've ever heard of. I can only think of one other African-American serial killer and like one spree killer. But this man was so deranged, and he had videos of his killings, which like I've been able to find original footage for, and that'll be in the podcast. But yeah, it's kind of the story. He was born and raised in this area, lived in this area. And then when bodies started popping up in 2001 and 2002, they at first were just like, it's sex workers, it's dangerous lifestyles, kind of the same thing that they thought with Gary Ridgway and all these other people. And turns out they had a serial killer on their hands who they caught him because of an Expedia map that he sent to a reporter. So next week on Highway to Hell, it's going to be St. Louis and the story of Maury Travis. And every day on this 30-day journey of mine, I'm going to share what I see and the interactions that I have and what I'm learning as a person. Yeah. As I was scrambling to get my apartment ready to be able to do this and getting a cat sitter, I was like, oh my God, like, this is so dumb. Am I making the right choice? Am I doing the right thing? And like, it's day one, and I absolutely made the right choice. I'm really glad I'm here. It already feels lighter and easier to breathe. So I'll see you tomorrow for a 10-minute little update.